Hey, how's it looking? How's it going? Check this lovely day. Welcome back to my channel. Hope all of you are really well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. You can see a lovely blue sky day here in South Africa. We are in the summer, or the summer is coming on. You can see the grass is starting to get green and stuff like that. So let's not talk too much about the grass. What are we doing? Well, newest bike to our channel, or newest bike to my fleet, or whatever you may call it. VFR 1200X C. I don't know what the C is for, but yeah. So yeah, we're going to be digging into it, doing a couple of runs, doing a service, because I see that's kind of like an issue. Changing the exhaust. Yeah, just see what it does top end wise. See if it's a nice tourer or anything like that. All right, so let's get going. Alright, so before we get started, again, quick shout out to all the members. These guys support the channel, it helps the channel a lot. We also got two new members down here, Rian Stander and Gerard Robler. Thank you guys for joining, and if you haven't joined yet, hey, come join the membership. It's nice to have and it helps the channel. Alright, let's get going. Okay, so I think before we get started with servicing this bike and showing you how nice and easy it is, like a BMW where the head is somewhere here and you can take the block out. This one you can't even see the heads, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, before we get to that, let's first hear what the bike sounds like, because we're gonna be changing that silencer also. And yeah, let me show you a bit of it. So it's got 39,865 kilometers on, so 40,000 it's due for service. It's got ABS, traction control. You can switch the traction control off. It's got heated grips, spotlights, crash bars, hell's bells. If it had two more wheels, it would have been a car. Alright, so what does it sound like? Got the aftermarket Yoshimura RS3 exhaust on. It's still a lot quiet for me. We'll see. I've got a nice little pipe we can put on to make it a bit louder. And yeah, let's hear. Changing that out, seeing how it, maybe we'll do a top end run with this exhaust and then do a top end run with the other exhaust we're going to be putting on. We'll just see. I think we should do it like that, see if there's a difference in the exhausts and stuff like that. Yeah, overall a very beautiful bike. Nice little spotlights. Check the LED flickering back. Alright, let's switch her off and get a service. See what it's gonna be like to service this bike. Because I haven't serviced one like this before. But what I can tell you is probably the seat's gonna have to come out. The tank's gonna be lifted up. To lift the tank is gonna be an issue. Maybe not. Maybe these covers have to, yeah, these covers are definitely gonna have to come off. All right, we'll see what it takes. Haven't serviced one like this before, so it's gonna be a learning curve for all of us. All right, let's get it in, get the oil drained and see how we get inside. Okay, so first things first, to get to the oil filter, you need to take this cover off. It's got a 5mm Allen key down there and it presses into this side. So already cracked it loose. Take this Allen key out. See, 5mm Allen key, and yeah, then it's not loose yet. Oh yeah, so it presses into here also, so you're gonna have to pull it out and pull it out of that one also. Sure. Lots of Tupperware. Okay. Somewhere here, it's also connected. Okay, let me get it loose and I'll show you. Alright, so there, you first have to take this little cover off, which got two rubber grommets, one there, and then there where my finger is, there's one of those quick release ones. Then you get this cover off, then there's an Allen key there and an Allen key there to get that cover off, which has a grommet over there to get to the oil filter. Okay, so let me just take that bolt out, then we get to the oil filter. Thank goodness. Okay, so that's how it looks when it's off, and then there's the oil filter. So probably take this bracket also off just for easier access. So at least just that one number 8 screw over there. Right, once all that's removed, as you can see, oil filter is nice and open, easy to get off. You get underneath here where there's no light, that's a number 17. Make sure you've got a container ready and the angle is good. Already cracked it loose, and then you just take it out. Nice. Okay, let me just clean all that lovely oil goodness up. Alright, and when you loosen the oil filter, someone lubricate your exhaust. It's nice, it makes it a nice smoky once you start it up. Nice fumes for you to breathe in. And then if you check the sticker, they say use Ja So Ma oil only. Well, I don't know who that is and whose mother it is, but yeah, we'll be using Helix, eh? I'll show you when we put it in. Already got a filter, just waiting for this to get finished lubricating the exhaust. Then we'll swap it around. Alright, once you top the oil, it's just past the level, we'll start it now. Just check it again, make sure it's fine. You see only the best. Shell Helix takes about 4 liters, and then you will see everything is blinking, not blinking, no, shining. Everything is shining. I put some CRC on everything, and then because this bike came from close to the ocean, all the bolts are slight rusted color. So before we'll put these covers back on, we'll give them a quick shine, and then we'll get to the hard stuff like the air filter and the spark plugs. And then you check your coolant level. There's nice little stripes down there. You fill it up back there. All right, enough talking. Let's start the bike and check the oil, and yeah. Okay, and as you can see, we moved over to this side. So we need to do the air filter and plugs and stuff like that. I'll show you how to do that. But before we do that, let's quickly go do a top end run to make sure if we can see a difference between when it's before the service and after the service, if there's any difference. Yeah, we'll work from there. So let's quickly go do the top end run, check it out, and then we'll lift the tank and I'll show you how to do all that stuff. Okay, 0 to 300. Alright, you guys are back from that top end run. Not very impressive, but we'll see what the difference is with clean stuff in. So yeah, why is the bike stripped like this? Why didn't I show you all of that? Well, I didn't know how to do it, so I first needed to do it myself. So yeah, if you need to strip it, if you've got a crash bar, it needs to come off. Then it's got a Allen key up top here and one down here somewhere on the silver pieces. You see one there and one at the top, and then it's got 4 plastic grommets, what you call these things. It's got 4 of them on each side. So 2 here in the inner fender and 2 up here. So yeah, once you remove them, you can take the silver piece off. It's easy. It's got one locator spot that pushes in, but you pull it back and then you slide it forward. It goes into this piece, so it slides in. So there's one, the rubber came out, but I'll put one back in, one in there, and yeah, you slide it out. The same with these black covers. They you have to unhook them from back here. You pull it out, it also recesses in here, and you push it back because it hooks into the back, and it's got Velcro over here. But I'll show you all of that. Alright, so both sides is removed. We've got a better view of what's going on. Are we going to be able to get to everything? It seems like we will be, once we lift the tank. This is the one head, and obviously the other head's at the back here, so we'll be able to access the spark plugs and stuff from there. But yeah, let's lift this tank and see what we can see. Alright, first look of the tank lifted. Pretty easy. Nothing strange or weird or anything. Only thing is, when you lift the tank, this hose will get tight. So just unhook it from there. It's just a overflow hose. And yeah, check there. There's the back 2 coil packs. Easy. Here's the airbox. So yeah, we'll quickly remove this and see what we are working with. And then also check how to get to the front heads coil packs. So yeah, let me remove this airbox and we'll go from there. Okay, again, it's got star point screws. I can't remember how much. Six star point screws holding this lid on. You need to unplug this air temp sensor, and then these, it's not ram air, but where it gets air from, you need to unhook it, and then you can see when last was an air filter done on this bike. And you saw that run. I'm pretty sure this bike will now also maybe go to 400 once I clean, or not clean, once I throw this air filter far away and install a fresh one. Holy crap. I'm pretty sure this bike has never seen a new air filter. Maybe the day when it came from Honda. Yo. Alright, let's get it out. I'll show you when it's out. Alright, the air filter is off and yo. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to remove this whole air box to get to the front blocks. But we'll see that just now. But yeah, look at this air filter. Let me go into the sun. Yo, this poor bike. Service wasn't something he had. Yo. Probably it's very difficult to get to this air filter. And it weighs a ton. I can't even think. Where's the sun? There's the sun. Yeah. Yeah, we'll give it a fresh air filter. And I'm pretty sure once we take the plugs out now, the plugs is gonna look pretty much the same. So yeah, let's see. Let's get those plugs out. Alright, to remove the plugs, you just unplug the coil packs, take them out. There's a cover you take off. It's like sound deadening cover. And then you can take the plugs out. And luckily, or at least, it had a set of iridiums in. I'll check the gaps, but I'm pretty sure either this bike came out of the factory with a set of iridiums. I'm not sure. I'll just check up on that. Or whenever they installed this, let's say the first or second service or whenever, that's the last time that air filter saw any kind of attention. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, now I need to remove the front ones because the back ones are easy to get to. If you check the state of the air filter, probably maybe the front ones weren't changed, or maybe they were, I don't know. But I'm quickly gonna remove this whole air box. So yeah, wish me luck, because it's not gonna be fun. Alright, once you can remove that cover, originally I think you should remove that one completely, then you take the air filter out beside the bike. Then all of these ram air tubes, you remove their screws. There's a rubber hose behind here you need to pluck out. You need to take off all of these connectors all around and then pluck out this EGR system. There's a pipe in front and a pipe in the back. And then still something on the other side, probably another vacuum hose or something. But yeah, then we're ready to remove this, I'm sure. All right, if I do this, you can check there's the hole for the plug, and this side, here's the coil packs. So what I can tell you, I took the CDI out, there it is, I unplugged everything here. The correct way would be to lower the radiator. You can, I don't know if you can see, just behind there is the plug. So the correct way is to lower the radiator, change the front plugs from that side. But if you've ever done plugs on a ZX12, you know this was difficult, but not nearly as difficult as on a cover ZX12. So yeah, I got the coil packs out. I'm quickly gonna take those plugs out. We'll see how they look, and yeah, we need to put everything back and go see. But I'm pretty sure with that air filter, yeah, this bike's gonna be a lot quicker. So yeah, let me get those plugs out and let's see how they look. Alright, so we got that plugs out there in the front. They were at least also iridiums. I did check the gaps and everything. Oh, focus. Gaps are good. So yeah, just gonna reinstall the plugs again because they aren't worn down and they are iridiums. Just don't know how many Ks they've got on. So yeah, 2 coil packs there. Where are the other two coil packs? Did put them here somewhere. Oh yeah, there they are. The back two coil packs. So I'll quickly reinstall everything, and yeah, then we'll put in a new air filter. I think I'll put everything back together and show you the struggle points, and yeah, then we can go check how fast this bike really is. Alright, so let me do a lot of work off camera again, and then you guys can see when it's back together again. Alrighty, so all the plugs are back in, coil packs are on, bottom piece of the airbox is in, everything is right and tight, everything is plugged back in. The thing that was sticking on this side, oh my soul, was this what I'm showing you now, this vacuum hose. It goes on the map sensor. I didn't even see, I didn't put it back, so it's a good thing I showed you now. Alright, so yeah, what's next? Well, we need to put the air filter in to finish off the bike, to go and do a top end run. But yeah, we can't put that air filter in. The one I ordered, it's now been a couple of weeks and it's not here yet. So what do? Well, you install the old, yeah, cannot install that old one. Alright, so we run without an air filter. Yeah, you can't do that either. Well, here's another option. You go, you buy some air filter sponge foam, and you take all that old air filter out, put this in. It's as good as a lifetime filter, but it'll work fine till the performance filter I ordered someday gets here. So yeah, I'll quickly rip all that stuff out and clean it, and I'll show you how to install the sponge filter into its place. Alright, so let me do that. Alright, just quickly, you cut out all the paper. Yo, this thing is bad. I know I said it was bad, but yeah, it was worse, but fine. You cut out all the paper. I use a side cutter and a piece of long nose pliers to cut it all out, take it all out, and then the mesh, you can leave it or you can take it out. You need to put it back in, but I take it out when I'm cleaning it, and then I just fit it back in again. And then just cut your sponge to fit, say, the mesh size. That sponge go in, and a way to keep it together. So I'll quickly build it and I'll show you how I did it. Alrighty, get out here in the sun. There you go. So I used the filter sponge. I cut it a bit bigger. As you can see, it makes like a bubble or a tet, to account for any type of shrinkage from it, but it doesn't shrink. But yeah, so it's a bit more. I use, as you can see, cable tie going through, and another cable ties back end, just to keep it in place. You don't have to put any glue or anything on it. So if you service it again, you can just take the sponge out, clean it, and put it back in. Then on the other side's the mesh screen, also cable tied to put it, or to hold it together. If I show you like this, you see it's still in place. So yeah, and oh yo, you can see through it. So yeah, it works. And this is the same sponge they use on the off-road to keep the dust out. So yeah, it's just good to clean it more often than not. And yeah, as soon as my performance filter gets here, there's no difference in my eyes. This one will work just as well, but at least now I know I've got a clean air filter in, which I can lubricate, and it will trap the dust and will work just as good. Alright, let's get this bike back together so we can do a top end run. See what it does now. Yeah, and once you're done installing everything back again, airbox, filters and all that stuff, make sure to give everything a nice, good, clean because you don't know when's the next time someone's gonna be in here, nah. But yeah, make sure everything gets wiped down, get a nice coat, because this bike comes from the ocean, to get all that sea salt and stuff out of it. Yeah, make sure you give it a nice clean, and then we'll reinstall everything, and at least then we can go take her for a spin. Yeah, and just like that, all back together. Now all we need to do is check if we've plugged everything in and if it still starts, eh? Right, engine light was on, it's off. Oh, my soul. Let's take her for a spin, see if there's a difference. Okay, 0 to 40. Alright, you guys and girls and everyone watching till now and still watching. Well, you saw it was better and it wasn't great. It's not impressive. Is that filter I made still blocking it? We can find out when we get the performance filter and maybe do a run again. What about if we change the exhaust? Will it be better? Well, it'll maybe sound better. What about the catalytic converters? What if we take them out? Probably, eh? So yeah, there's still a couple of things we can do because it's got revs. Just doesn't have, I don't know. Bike has a lot of power. I'm gonna check if I can find out on the forums or anything if there's like restrictors on this. I did see the throttle's got cables, but it's electric throttles. So yeah, the computer decides where the throttles are. But yeah, if you guys are still watching till this time, comment down below, top speed. Then I know at least you guys were watching till the end. So I'm gonna end it here, but then I'm somewhere after this gonna show you a comparison of the two speeds. Both days were pretty much the same, almost the same time. So yeah, there's not, you can't say it was raining the one day and sunny the next. It was the same days, same scenarios. So yeah, maybe we'll try something else later on. But hell, these bikes aren't fast. You saw how loose the front end gets, wiggling all over the road. But hey, thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing and commenting, and may the Lord bless you all. And yeah, if we'll see how this one does, and maybe we'll do a follow-up video, try and make this thing a little bit faster. At this stage, I think City Golfs are gonna beat it. Yeah. All right. May the Lord bless you all. See you in the next one.
Okay, 0 to 0 to